The skis are probably a culmination of 20 years of ski design that I've put into all our plastic skis. You see a little bit of everything in this ski. We have flats on both sides of the ski that are basically 2 inches wide that are the main running surface for the skis. And they have strakes in them like strakes in a boat hull. And we put those strakes in to break the suction of the ski against the snow, make the ski a lot faster. The flats basically are what run on the trail, and when you depend on the outriggers that are on either side of the flats, that's when you're running in deeper snow for flotation. We left the sides of this ski straight so that we can run it on side hilling. It's a good side hilling ski, excellent side hiller, plus it's an excellent trail ski. It's almost 6 3/4 inches wide. It has fins front and rear. As you can see, this black fin in the back, that's a stage 1 fin, and there's a stage 1 fin in the front for trail riding. And that's normally where we recommend people to start. Gives them a nice, good trail ski. Keel's not too deep or too long. You can deepen the keel by changing the fins out. We've got stage 2 fins, which are longer in the back and taller, and then we've got a deeper fin in the front by 1/4 of an inch roughly. And that helps the ski go through the corners sometimes. Depends on the sled. Arctic Cat's almost a direct bolt-on for our ski, so is Polaris. Skidoo requires a little modification, and so does Yamaha, due to the front end weight they have. We normally recommend good ski alignment with this ski, or any ski for that matter. And we do that by measuring in the field. We'll measure across the studs of the ski, the front 2 studs and the rear 2 studs. And we want the rear 2 studs to be 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch narrower than the front. Sometimes 3/8. It depends on what kind of tracking you want. Generally, the more toe out you give a ski, the better tracking it has. And that we have a lot of trouble with. We get a lot of calls from people that have a tracking problem, and we can sort that out immediately just by telling them to put a little bit more toe out in them. Factory recommends 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. I normally recommend 1/8 to 3/8 of an inch. It depends on if you're drag racing or you're just trail riding. 3/8 of an inch gives you a good spread in the front. It'll slow your sled down a little bit, but the tracking will be perfect. Most sleds can be made to track very well if you adjust the toe out correctly. Now, toe out needs to be done every time you make a chassis change on your sled. I don't care what you do, it's the last thing you check, is always check toe out settings last. And we always put a bungee cord across the front of the hoops to hold the skis together, the tips. That takes all the slack out of or in play out of the bushings, and makes the ski your assured toe out at that point. Makes for a very good tracking ski. Weight, we tell everybody to adjust out limiter straps, particularly Yamaha and Skidoo. We tell them to let the limiter straps out in the front if they can. If not, you can buy, like Arctic Cat has, some sleds do not have limiter strap adjustment on them. You can buy kits for them, and Skidoo as well. But let out the limiter straps a little bit till they're slack, and then crank more preload on the center skid frame shock. Center skid frame shock will take weight off the front end of the sled, and that gives you lighter steering. And we also make what we call a power steering plate that goes between the mount shoe and the ski bottom, and it only covers these 2 studs in the middle of the ski, right here and here, and then as you tighten these up and you tighten these up, it bends the ski and will put a 200-inch radius in them. The skis are molded with a 300-inch radius, which is good for most sleds. Skidoos and Yamahas, we found the power steering plate is very important because it puts more rocker in the ski and therefore less keel in the surface. It's a very deep keel. It's almost 1 1/8 inches deep. So you have to rocker the ski a little bit for certain sleds. These fins are stage 1 fins, and they basically fill the slot here and here. They give a little extra over the top on this dovetail ski. The reason we dovetail them so they don't drag the corner of the skis when they go through the corners. That's drag. It's a very fast ski. We also use a front fin that you can see in front of this ski, and it basically fills the slot as well.
And those are also adjustable.
And they're adjustable, yeah. You could put a stage 2 or stage 3 fin in it, which is 1/4 of an inch deep. Stage 2 is a longer fin, and it sticks out the back of the ski a little bit and is a little deeper off the bottom, which gives you more rear end control of the ski. Makes the keel a lot more aggressive. The front fin on a number 2 is 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch deeper than the keel itself, and that will help you pull through the corners. We have a stage 3 fin set up, much the same as this black sled has over here, that is maybe almost 3/4 of an inch to an inch deeper in the front, and it's about 1.5 inches taller on top and 1 inch or 1/2 inch deeper in the below the keel. That's for powder situations. We normally recommend those for our mountain riders. Gives them a lot more turning capability in powder snow, or feathers basically is what we call them. It's a very nice thing to have. We've got racers that do combinations. They'll do a stage 2 or stage 3 in the front and a stage 1 or 2 in the back. By having less keel in the back and more keel up front, it pulls the ski through a corner, much like a sail. As it hits the wind, it pulls the ski through the corners. It'll hit the softer snow that's above the hard pack. It makes steering a lot easier and a lot quicker. That's the reason for the fins. You can adjust this ski over 52 different ways with the different combinations of wear bars and fin combinations, power steering plates, and pretty much that's it. But you can change it almost more than 52 different ways. Appearances, it's basically the same ski throughout. The colors available are black, yellow, red, bright red, dark blue, green, pink, and orange. And the mount shoe colors are black or silver. Just depends on what you put them with. I like black ones with black suspensions like this one has on it. And I like silver with silver suspensions. It's a personal choice at that point. We have a lot of different combinations you can do.